All right. Let's see. Well, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing today? Thumbs up. All right. It seems like it's a beautiful day outside. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it seems beautiful. And today I am not only drinking from my normal cup, but my fun cup. So we're double fisting today. You got to do that now and then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And rest assured, this is not what you think, or is it?
We don't know.
It's actually a mix of cran raspberry and Sprite. Just kind of a nice little fruity something. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to have a speaker in a little bit who's going to update us on how to get our voting done if we haven't done so already for the big vote that is due in 6 days. So he'll be on board here in a little bit. In the meantime, again, I'm Dawn McCloney. I'm our president for this year of MBN. And just a couple of quick updates. Don't forget, Cocktails and Conversations is still, it is still running. It is going to be a week from tomorrow, so November 5th, which is the first Thursday of the month, from 4 to 6, and I believe it's on Zoom currently. So you can go online and to our website and get the Zoom information so that you can jump on board. Again, it's between 4 and 6. Whenever it works for you to jump in, you can jump in and have some kind of a cocktail by your side if you would wish. That is up to you. We also have our mastermind group meeting on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:30. I think that they have the Zoom option as well. So that is also on our website. And I think that you can meet in person at Paradise Falls during that time if you want to meet in person, but the Zoom is definitely an option. Christy, did you want to jump in real quick?
So the Zoom link for Cocktails and Conversations, this does not apply to the mastermind Zoom links, but the Zoom link for Cocktails and Conversations is now going to be the same link every month for Cocktails and Conversations. Zoom is now requiring a few more layers of security. And so to keep it simple for whoever's having to run the Cocktails and Conversations so they don't have to admit people into the room, there's a passcode that everybody can use, so you can just type in the passcode and get into the room without waiting for somebody to let you in. And I have set the Cocktails and Conversations passcode to 406406. Hopefully that'll be easy to remember.
All right.
There's a good chance we do have our meetings set up for our general meetings for the rest of the 2020 part of the year. But when we set up the 2021, they may also be still enforcing some of these extra layers. And if so, we'll make sure that the passcode is 406. So we'll try to keep it consistent, but we'll let everybody know and update you as we go. But for sure, Cocktails and Conversations has a passcode. We'll see how that goes and we'll make adjustments if needed, but we do have to have these extra measures of security and they're not optional anymore. So.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. And one other little update, we are still looking for some people to fill some board positions. So if you are interested or if you know of anybody who might be perfect for this, let us know. We'll have a conversation. So we are in the need of a secretary, mastermind leaders, and even if you have a new idea for a mastermind group, we'd be open to some suggestions and some conversations about that. Our social and events co-chair. So we do have one gal who wants to assist, but she needs to have an assistant, a colleague to help with that. And then our membership group, our membership committee is always looking for extra people to jump on board to assist with calling members and making sure that questions are answered and memberships are getting updated and stuff like that. So, so some great opportunities if you're interested. It is a good way to get to know our group a little bit better, know our members a little bit better, and just, you know, get more involved and have some fun. So let me know, or let any of us on the board know if you're interested, or if you have anybody in mind that would be a good fit, and we can reach out to them. Another reminder, we've got a couple more weeks that we are accepting our Flying High Awards. And again, this is the one that we choose 2 per year. So there'll be one before the end of this calendar year, and then one next in the next few months in the beginning of 2021. I don't even know what year we're in. So the Flying High Award began in 2002 to celebrate the extraordinary women who have made significant contributions to MBN and our community. So you can go online and make your nominations. There's a great little page on our website. So discovermbn.org. Jump on there if you have anybody in mind that you'd like to nominate. And we would like to get those in the next couple of weeks by November 10th, so that the board can make a decision after that. And then we can announce at our November 18th general meeting. We are moving up that meeting by a week because of Thanksgiving. So we don't want you guys to have to worry about fitting MBN in with Thanksgiving festivities. So we will get that done. All righty. And our next general meeting being on November 18th, we are going to have Chrissy and Alicia from Mountain Home, Montana jump on board and chat with us. They've come to a couple of our different meetings over the years, and we've offered them, Mountain Home, much support in diaper drives and some different donation fundraisers that we've done for them. Right now, they're going through some crazy times as well because of COVID, so they're going to update us on how they're operating. And then they will let us know what their current needs are, because they remain pretty consistent, but every now and then they do have some other necessities that they really are needing. So we're going to do a drive for them, and it will be virtual, and it will be part of our 2nd annual holiday market. So we're going to get that started here November 18th, along with our next meeting. And it'll run through December 18th. So it's going to be a virtual marketplace. So Anne, would you like to jump on board and tell us a little bit more about how to get involved and what our vendors or potential vendors need to do to get involved? We need to unmute you though.
I'm just talking to myself. That's great. I think I can share this. Let's see. Nope, not that. But yes, it is it's something that, can you see that? Can you see what I'm sharing or no?
No, not yet. Are you clicking on that little green icon on the bottom of your screen to share?
Of course I did, but I just, why isn't it showing up? See, I did it last time. Okay, anyway, we'll have it out soon. Thanks to Megan and Allie. We have a great flyer coming out, but it is really just shares the event. It's good. I still want to pull it up, so I'm just annoyed. But anyway, it's from November 18th to December 18th, and it's super easy to join. It's going to be $25 if you are a MBN member, and $100 for a non-member. But we like the idea of like a healthy holiday shopping and supporting local people. Megan and the staff here, the group, excuse me, will have this up and running and available to see on discovermbn.com, right, Megan?
Yeah, it's up there now, and I can share. Let's see if my share screen works.
Well, yeah.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So on our website under special events, if you click on holiday market, this is the market, this picture right here. So you can see we put one vendor in. It's the Missoula Businesswomen's Network. And when you click on it, you can see information. And then, well, this doesn't have a click through because you're already on this website, but other businesses will have click-throughs to whatever it is that they want, their Facebook, their website, their Etsy, all of the above, their logo. It will have all their information. So we will be able to make all of these different businesses, the shopping center on here, clickable. Plus we can make the trees, we can make the horses, we can make the people all clickable. So there's no limit to space. You can see here, it explains what the market is. And right down here is the application. So you just fill out the application, choose whether you're a member or a non-member, and hit submit. That will come to us so we know. But you have to then add whichever one to your cart. If you're a current member, the cool thing about the website is if you're a current member and you're logged in to your membership, when you add this to your cart and purchase it, it will always be in your membership information.
Thank you.
So when you log in, you can see what you've bought. Let me show you. So under your profile, if you go to your account, and then you can see your orders, and you can see, that I purchased a membership. So if I purchase the market, it will be under here. If I purchase sponsorships, so all your purchases within MBN are in your account. So you can always see what you've spent money on with us. But the holiday market is not closed to non-members. It's available and anyone can come onto our website and see it. We'll market it on social media and on different event sites. So we'll push it out there for members and non-members to shop on our virtual market.
We really want to spread the word on this too and share it with your friends. This year is a little bit different, as we all know, and want to make sure that people that do make their own items or have a talent or a service to share with people, we really want people to know that this is available. We will be putting some flyers around town. I don't know if there are going to be those little pop-up shops, but this is our version of a pop-up shop, but it lasts a month. So it's a really great opportunity because it's not just one day for like 4 hours like a lot of other events. And we'll be reaching out to people, but if you have anybody that is interested, please let them know. Last year, the holiday market we had was really fun. There was somebody that had like really cute gnomes that were for sale, and wonderful candles and like Montana cups and different things. And we don't want to miss out on those opportunities just because we don't have a place to see those this year. I like crocheted little pot warmers and stuff. So I want to know about those people who do those. And I love to have those.
Awesome. And one other thing that we're going to do with that market too is one of the we've chosen Mountain Home Montana to be our nonprofit for this event. So they will have a little building icon that we can click on. And if you feel that you're in a position where you can help them out in some way, either with a donation of an item or cash, they'll have all of that on their website. So you can just kind of click through and see what things they need and make a purchase of some sort or help them with that. So Christy?
Yeah, for those of you that are curious, for our non-members, they can become members and then get the member price, which is, for those of you that don't like math, $50 plus $25 is $75. So if they would like to do that, they're welcome to do that.
Absolutely. And then they'll be members for the full year and get to come to our Zoom meetings, which even if they're from out of town, that might be perfect because they can just Zoom along board with us and, hear everything that we're doing and still be involved, even if they don't live right here in Missoula. So I think it's a great opportunity. And yep, we want to share this with everyone that we can. Anybody you can think of, please feel free to invite them to check it out. Any questions?
Megan, I was going to say, again, Megan, good job. I mean,
it looks really
so
cute.
Cool. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Super excited.
Well,
and Anne
I have to say, my mom takes the majority of the credit for the website. It's in my brain, and she does all the work. So
Nice.
Good
Yeah,
team,
very,
good
very
team.
good. Kudos.
And Anne has always got some really great ideas on how to put these things together too, and you know, make it worthwhile and fun. And so this will be kind of a different little thing, but you know, that's what this year has been about. Let's just try different stuff and see what works. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
And I just have to say, it's really great that we have such a low cost opportunity for members to get their business out there. It is a market, you know, but just because you don't sell something necessarily like that, you know, you might ship off, doesn't mean that you can't be a part of the holiday market. It's not just a craft fair. It is a market for all businesses to help, you know, you all sell something, even if it's not an actual physical item. So
Yep. A lot of people just don't know that what's out there. And right now
Mhm.
it's hard to find that. And I think this, like Megan, or you guys were saying, this is the cutest way to find out what's going on in the area. And holidays are stressful. Maybe you need somebody to talk to, and there's going to be people on there, or maybe you need a massage and there's going to be people on there. So it's a stressful time, but it also can be fun.
Absolutely. So we'll give this a go. And again, it will run for a full month, starting at our next meeting, November 18th. I want to keep throwing that date in there so that we don't forget, November 18th. Lots of things going on. All right. Do we have any other topics and things? And as we wait for our speaker to come on board in a couple minutes, have I missed anything?
We do have something else that we are also going to be rolling out our sponsorship opportunities soon. So if hold tight, because we will have a wonderful, many wonderful opportunities to be more involved in MBN and as a sponsor.
Mhm. Yeah, we decided we'd wait until the little bit later so we don't muddle things up with the holiday market and with sponsorship. We thought it'd be easier to do one and then work on the next. So we'll have those details out pretty soon, but there will be a variety of different opportunities and options for sponsorships. So they will have a range of prices and a range of benefits and things that you will receive. So that will be pretty exciting to see here shortly. All right. So I did have a question that's not necessarily MBN related, but while we've got a couple of minutes, does anybody know what the plan for Halloween is this year? Are kids trick or treating, or is it a go at your own risk kind of thing? Or
I can tell you what we're doing.
yeah.
So I have a high risk kid, and we spend time with my high risk mom and my high risk uncle. So for us, we are not doing traditional trick or treating. We are actually going to Dunrovin Ranch. They're doing a cool scavenger hunt that you have to like sign up for certain times. So we're going with the one other family we see in costume. And then we're going to come home. We're going to put together our boo baskets that we're delivering to friends. And then we're going to come home and do our own little scavenger hunt and make Halloween cookies and watch Halloween movies. And the kids will have plenty of candy still. And they'll have many opportunities to show off their costumes. When we
Nice.
deliver our baskets. So
Nice. I think I want to join you. Awesome idea. Christy?
So my father, who is the former physics teacher from Sentinel High School, don't fall asleep. He still does every year, and it's become a bit of a destination for people in the Rattlesnake, but you can come from anywhere. All up on the house, he puts up laser show, loud music, you know, just it's a spectacle for sure. But he's gonna do it again because why not? People can just drive up in their cars. You don't have to be close together. And we're doing very highly sanitized little goodie bags that are spread out on a table if people do want to take some candy far away from the house.
Aww.
But if you're just looking for kind of a light show and just something, kind of a little bit of a destination, we're up at 2521 Gilbert Avenue just down the street from Rattlesnake Elementary School. So, I mean, you can't miss it. Just get onto Gilbert and drive towards the elementary school, and we're the one with the crazy laser show on the side of a house with very loud music playing. So,
Nice. Oh, fun. I just had my daughters and some of their friends over last night carving pumpkins. Oh my God, the house is a mess. There's pumpkin guts everywhere. I love it. Anybody else have anything fun planned for the weekend? I traditionally only get maybe 3 or 4 kids come to the door anyway, so I'm not really anticipating any of them right now, but you never know. And then I have to work until after 8 anyway, so I won't be, that'll probably be, by the time I get home, the kids will be done anyway, so it'll be boring house here.
I think the mall is still doing something for kids. Is that right, Megan? You probably know that. 'Cause you
Yeah,
have
I
kids.
saw, I'm not really sure what it is because we had already made our plans, but I know that it's not, I don't believe it's inside. It's not their traditional thing that they normally do. They're trying to be as cautious as possible and still have fun, cute ideas. But I do believe they have it on like their website and stuff, whatever that may be. There's a few things. There's also a Halloween parade happening in like the Franklin to Fort area. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I love this town for this reason. There's so many really cool things that are free
Creativity.
and safe. And the way we're looking at it is our kids aren't going to be like, oh, remember that one Halloween we didn't get to trick or treat? Our kids
Yeah.
are like, hey, remember that one Halloween that we got to go do all this really cool stuff instead of
Right.
walking around in the rain?
Yeah, or the snow and ice.
Yeah, we're just trying, it's all about, I think it's all about the adults' perspective on it. We don't, we try really hard not to talk poorly about what's happening with them. We are just trying to focus on all the positive things that is coming out of what right now. So, yeah.
Good call.
and just a reminder, all of the new like restrictions are going into effect tomorrow around Missoula because of all the spikes we're having with cases, and we've had 4 more deaths in Montana and all of that. So it might be worth just double checking that how you're planning on doing Halloween is still working with like the places you're planning on going, because I think that's gonna put a bit of a bump in some things, but I think most people are doing things that are already within those guidelines, so probably, but worth checking.
Cool. Sorry, I'm sending somebody a message and I just sent it to the wrong person.
I'm just texting some people about the Dunrobin Ranch scavenger hunt. I'm like, hey, before I forget.
It's so
That's
just
a
so
really
you
good
know,
idea.
they're probably full because they only accepted so many groups.
Okay.
Because and they in the email, the like confirmation email, it said that there was a possibility some people would not be able to participate who asked to participate.
Yeah. But what a great idea. They have such a cool property.
It really is, and we get to take like pictures with the donkeys and
So cool.
yeah, it's really neat. I'm excited. My kids are very excited for it.
Yeah.
They're mostly excited to deliver boo baskets to their friends. So
Isn't that cool to see them excited to give?
yeah,
It is. That is cool to promote
Absolutely.
that. Like generosity feels amazing.
yeah.
It does. It
And
does.
And our household is like, my kids have costumes. They get costumes all year round. And so this year I was like, since we're not trick-or-treating, let's just use one of our costumes we already have. And my girls were like, yeah, no, I don't think so, Mom.
Yeah.
We need costumes. Like, all right, we'll get the 7th costume in the last
Right.
2 months.
Don't be doing the frugal route, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago, I tried to be frugal with costumes and the girls wanted to be princesses. And this was Kylie, I think, was in preschool and Jordan was in 2nd grade. And so I was like, I'm not going to spend $40 on a pre-made costume. I'm going to make it for less. So we had a Rapunzel and we had Sleeping Beauty, and it was over $150 later, and several nights of not sleeping to get all the sewing done. And the Sleeping Beauty dress, just the skirt alone had 26 panels of material. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to frame this little outfit. So after that, I'm like, whatever costume you want, fine, but you're gonna have to make it from whatever we have at home.
Yeah.
This is
I'm not a crafty mom, but my
Oh.
oldest wants to be a spooky clown, and my youngest wants to be a witch or a spooky doll. However, last year Charlie wanted to be a skeleton for like a month, and then we went to get costumes, and she picked Paw Patrol, which she had never seen. So,
Oh.
okay.
That's funny. That's funny. So, well, I hope everyone has fun with Halloween. And I see that we have our guest online. Nathan has joined us. If you want to click your video or not, that way we can see your face and not just your name. There you are.
Oh, there, you can probably hear me better now too.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so this is Nathan Cohen, and he works with the Missoula County Elections Office. So the election ends in 6 days, and I hope that Nathan has got some good tips for us on how we can finish our voting process if we haven't done it already. Only 6 days left, folks. So Nathan, I'll go ahead and let you take it away and feed us full of information.
Excellent. So as you said, the election is fast approaching. We've gotten past all of our satellite voting events. The ballots have all mailed out long ago now. So we did mail out the ballots on the 9th. So everybody who is a registered active voter should have gotten their ballots by now. If you haven't received your ballot, you can come down and get a replacement from us here. We're in a period right now that started yesterday called late registration, which means all changes need to be made in person here at the elections office. And so if you have changed addresses, you've just moved here from another county, or you're brand new to Missoula, you'll want to come down here and see us. We have extended hours right now from 8 in the morning until 6:30 at night. We also have been running a drive-through ballot drop-off out in the parking lot here at 140 North Russell at our election center. That runs all day long. We're going to be here on Saturday from 9 to 1, providing all of our services and including the drive-through drop-off. There was one point that I really wanted to make sure to mention is that, yes, we're in late registration now. Normally, we would have been in late registration a long time ago. When late registration ends on Monday, the day before the election, we can no longer register people to vote. They will be told to come back on election day. So if you haven't gotten your ballot, or you need to make changes, now's the time to come and see us. We can always replace ballots all day on that Monday, but at noon on Monday, the day before the election, late registration closes and we can no longer register people on that day. A couple of little tidbits for you that are fun. We've received just under 65% of our issued ballots back already. So that's good. And that's another thing I would like to point out. Get your ballots in sooner rather than later so that we have time to process them, at least get them begun to be processed in advance. We can't start counting them until the Monday before the election, but we can start opening the blue secrecy envelopes on the Thursday before the election. We are at about 50% of registered voter turnout right now. So pretty decent. Although I always feel like, well, 57%, it sounds like not a lot, but it is a lot. We're reaching record numbers on everything right now. So it's a busy, popular election, and hopefully we'll get it even higher. We'll see where we get here in the end. We only got 6 more days to go. The other thing that I should mention is that on election day, now we're at the point where you could have mailed your ballots back. The postage was prepaid on all of our ballots this year. We used business reply mail to allow people to return their ballots free of charge. However, now that we're in this period that's so close to the election, I would not put your ballot into the mail to return it. If you want to get your ballot into us, either drive through and drop it off, come into the office and drop it off, or on election day, we're going to have 11 drop-off locations. And those locations are listed on the back of the instruction sheet that went out with every person's ballot. Make sure I get every little piece of information that I wanted to deliver to you here before I felt like it might be a good opportunity for people to ask questions of me if you had any questions. So I don't know how you want to coordinate that part of it, but what kind of questions does everybody have for me? Oh, you're muted there.
Yep. Maybe just a raise of hands if anybody has a question.
Sure.
And maybe I'll start off with, have you seen in our area any kinds of issues with ballots getting misplaced or stolen or tampered with?
No, there's always a couple of ballots every time that the post office returns to us as undeliverable. From our perspective, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, the person comes in and says, yeah, I live, this is my address. I don't know why it came back undeliverable. There's always a couple of those. As far as anything unusual, not really. I mean, we've been doing mail ballot elections for a long time, so we have a pretty tried and true process. And actually, we've instituted a lot more security measures this year. We have constant video surveillance going on here in the building on any of the areas where ballots are being processed along the way. I mean, there's multiple stages of processing that take place when the ballots come in. Each one of those is now under constant surveillance. Whereas in the past, the main check and balance has been, there's no part of the process is ever done alone or individually. Everything is always done in teams of at least 2, sometimes 3 people to make sure that there's, you know, no one has the opportunity to be alone with anything and tamper with any of the equipment of the ballots. Another thing that we instituted this year at the request of the commissioner's office was to have a security guard that's here after hours, just kind of monitoring the premises. And personally, I love the security guard, but some people have felt intimidated by the security guard because some of them are armed with tasers, you know, but I feel like they're on this property at night. They're in the middle of the city. We're in kind of an odd part of town. I feel like whatever they need to feel safe themselves, and they're here during after hours anyway. So that's one thing that's been confusing that I might want to mention is the ballots can only be dropped off while we're here. So during normal business hours, so 8 until 6:30 now, or 9 until 1 on Saturday. And then we will be open, the polls will be open from 7 in the morning until 8 at night on Tuesday. So ballots have to be received by 8 o'clock. But state law does not allow us to have unmanned ballot drop boxes. And that's why we can only accept ballots when we're open. But we've instituted a lot of new security, and I think it's great. Personally, I feel more comfortable having some kind of presence here, and it just kind of tamps down some of the fear that some people have around the election. I feel just makes you feel, it gives you a sense of security that I don't want to say wasn't there, but it is just, it's augmented, you know.
Definitely.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my son is in the Navy and he's stationed down in San Diego and in and out to sea and stuff. So he's always voted absentee, and his
Sure.
ballot typically comes to our home here in Missoula. I don't think we got one this year.
Okay.
So maybe it's too late because he's down there and couldn't do anything in person. So
No. So if he votes absentee, or does he vote through the UACABA process?
never heard of that.
So an option for military and overseas civilians is something called UACABA, and they can get their, so if they receive a physical paper ballot, it can be mailed to them well in advance of when the normal ballots go out 25 days before, those go out a week or so before that. And so it gives them a chance to more time to receive it in the mail because they're usually generally stationed or live much further away. Another option is that we allow for military and overseas is email ballots. There
Okay.
are electronic ballots through a portal operated by the Secretary of State's office. Those I think would be good options. And it's not too late because he could sign up for a UACAVA ballot right now and receive an electronic ballot pretty much immediately.
Okay, because I don't think the regular mail-in one came to our house. I need to double check with my husband. So he should
Mhm.
go on which website?
Yeah, so he can get, it's called a federal postcard application to apply for the UACAVA ballot.
Mhm.
Uh, the person to talk to here, our UACAVA coordinator, is Lisa Stevens. She handles all of those ballots, and she would be able to provide provide you guys with really personalized service that would probably help get
Okay.
things
Oh, that'd
taken
be
care of.
great. So what's the phone number real quick?
Yeah, let me grab. So you can call our main line here at 258-4751
Okay,
if you ask for Lisa Stevens. I'm sorry,
perfect.
I have a list of her extension, but
That's good enough.
my
Thank
office is in like total disarray.
I
It's
believe
a
that.
disaster in here.
Yeah.
But well, because I've been in and out of here. It's like I kind of live in this office and next door, and I've set up a temporary office in Sealy Lake, Frenchtown, the university yesterday. Things are in and out of here, and things never quite go back together the same way they come apart. So it gets crazy in here.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for doing this today. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All righty, anybody else? Really?
Just a comment.
Nobody.
I'm adding the link to the main elections page for the Missoula County elections, which has the drop-offs for election day, a link through to check your voter registration and profile and to track your ballot and all of that. So if that's okay, I'll put that in the chat while everybody's continuing to ask questions.
Perfect.
That's great. And you bring up another good point is people can track the status of they can check the status of their registration at myvoterpagemt.com. You can also check the status of your ballot on there and just ensure that your ballot was, what stage it's in. If it's been sent to you and you're wondering where it is, or if you haven't been sent one, because inactive voters will not be automatically, or were not automatically sent a ballot for this election. So if you haven't gotten your ballot, come down and yeah, I mean, you can always check there first, but if you come in here, we can help you in person, get you reactivated and get you a ballot right here. But that is a great resource, that My Voter Page MT. You can check the status of your ballot and say, hey, my ballot was accepted, or what other steps you might need to take. And it'll give you a preview of your ballot there if you need it. But I mean, hey, 6 days before the election, you might as well just come and get the real thing, because here we are, we're waiting.
And you said your office is at 140 North Russell. What is that near, just so I can visualize?
Yes, it's on the corner of Russell and Wyoming. So it's right next to Pink Grizzly, is across the street to our north. And
Gotcha.
then right across the street to the west is Home Resource.
Gotcha.
I know that there seems to have been a lot of extra chatter this year about the particulars of sending in your ballot. They've always been there, but are there anything new? Are there any new particulars? Like, I know, like, no doodling on the outside of your envelope or something like that. Are there any new ones this year, or is it just because this year is extra special election?
So from our perspective, we've run the last 5 elections have been all mail for us. We've had, the primary was all mail. We always have several school or special district elections that are always all mail. So to us, nothing about the process is different. The only kind of ballots that we have for this election, it's called an all mail election, but every one of these ballots is an absentee ballot, and they're all handled with the system that we use for processing absentee ballots. So there's been a lot of confusion and I guess debate over what the definition of mail or absentee ballots are. I mean, First of all, we did not send ballots randomly to everyone in the world or the county or the state. We sent only registered active voters were sent a ballot. And some times that means, well, all times that means a lot of those people were polling place voters. Right now, our statistics are about 80% of people already vote by absentee anyway. So it's only a small increase in the number of absentee ballots from where we're sitting. It's a small increase in the number of mail ballots that are sent out there. But a lot of people who vote in the polling place are not familiar with the absentee process or not as comfortable with it or would prefer to vote in person. If people come in person and request a replacement, we're more than happy to give them a replacement. It's still just another absentee ballot because that's all we have. But if people feel like bringing their ballot from home that we've already sent them, they can vote it here in person, and we've got, you know, accommodations in place for that. The one thing that happens with polling place voters that's slightly different is everyone who's been on the absentee list has signed generally many forms over the years. And so we have good examples of their signature that are current and up to date. A lot of polling place voters, we don't have that for. And so if people have questions about that, if any of you generally voted a polling place, it's not a bad idea to just sign a signature update form with us. All it is an updated voter registration card just to get a current capture of the way your signature has evolved over time.
I think that was definitely one of the areas that people were confused about, looking at people's perplexed state. That was the one thing they said was, well, wait a minute, how are they going to identify my signature from when I was 16 or from when where does that signature clarification come from, or comparison come from?
Right. So every voter registration or any kind of official form that you sign with us, we scan them into the state's database, and they're stored in there. And those are the signatures that we compare the signatures from the ballots against. And we have there's particular guidance from the Secretary of State's office is what we follow to verify those signatures. A lot of people will say, well, you haven't been trained by the FBI to analyze handwriting, but I got to tell you, from years of doing this, there are specific telltale ways that people will sign their name. Even people think, well, it's changed so much over the years. Maybe it hasn't changed as much as you think. Some people's obviously, I mean, mine is just getting more or less and less legible and decipherable as time goes on. But but every time someone signs a form, we get a capture of it. And so for those polling place voters, we did try to reach out to those people that generally vote at the polling place and send them a form to try to get them to update their signature in advance. But if they haven't, if they see us in person, a lot of times people will come in, and surprisingly, they think they're registered under their current information, but they're not, or they think they've updated their registration with the post office, but that doesn't come to us. Things need to be updated with us. So there's just a lot of forms that get signed, a lot of signatures get captured that way, and we're generally up to date with everyone. In fact, I had one of my coworkers today. She was wondering about a friend of hers in the nursing home, and her signature over the years has really deteriorated. And I said, well, let me go take a look at that signature, and just to be sure, and her ballot was accepted and everything was fine. A lot of times, this year though, and for sure you brought up a good point, a lot of people are wondering about it, and more people than normal. In fact, people who've been voting absentee for 10 years now are concerned that their signature will somehow be rejected. And that if a ballot gets rejected, first of all, your odds of having a ballot that's rejected are extremely low. Only 0.003% of ballots are rejected. And all of the people who have a ballot that gets rejected are sent a letter to ask them to rectify that. And if they have a telephone number on file, we're also calling them. So we're trying to be even more on top of that this year.
So you might have said this, and I just don't remember, but Do you know how many people have voted so far? Are our numbers looking different than past elections?
So the numbers are higher than last elections. We're breaking records right now. We're at just under 65% of our ballots that we've sent out have been returned. So about a 57% of registered voters have voted so far. It's, there's always going to be more people who wait until election day to turn in their ballots. And so we'll just have to see how that is when the day comes. It's coming quickly, but we're getting ready. So, I mean, tomorrow, Thursday is the first day we can start opening those blue envelopes, and all the while more and more are coming in through the drive-through every minute. So the turnout's going to be huge.
Are there volunteer opportunities still available for this election?
So with this one, we've had so many people volunteer, and the fact that we're not running polling places has kind of limited those opportunities. But please, if you're interested in the future, give us your information and we will get you on the list to help us in future elections.
Help you clean up your office or something.
If that's your area of expertise, is organizing this mess, wow.
That'd be awesome.
I would love it.
So I'm one of those people that actually was that very, very small percentage where there was an issue with my ballot, not in this election, but in a previous election. And this is why it's so important to track your ballot. so important. So, and during that election, I kept tracking my ballot, and I physically went and dropped off my mail-in ballot, although I've been voting absentee for a really long time. And it just, I could never find it. Like, it never got received. It never got accepted. So it wasn't that it wasn't accepted. So I didn't get a letter. And so eventually, after like kind of a week or two, because I had done that much earlier, I called the Secretary of State, and you should do that. Like, if your ballot has not been received and it has not been accepted, and I would say during this election, it's about 3 or 4 days, even if you physically drop it off. So don't panic if that's not happening. But this was a long time. And what turned out was there were 2 letters in my last name that when I registered to vote in the state of Montana, and the DMV, when I got my driver's license, inverted 2 of the letters in my last name. So when I was typing in my last name to look for my ballot, they couldn't find it. And we were able to fix it. My ballot got accepted. They were very nice, very helpful. I wasn't even like on hold or anything. So it's super important to check your ballot and make sure that it's there. And that if there are those little teeny things, that way they can get corrected as well. So now I can track my ballot because I know how to spell my name. So I'm the case study, and anything that can go wrong in anything, it always does. So I will be the guinea pig. Go track your ballots.
Indeed, and you bring up a good point. While it's a very minuscule percentage of people that have a rejected ballot, there's a minuscule percentage of human error that flips a letter around, or a form comes through the DMV that has some kind of inverse. When you're looking up information on that My Voter page, some of the information is delayed. There's a 24-hour lag between when the Secretary of State's office reports to when it updates on that page. There's also, our system doesn't allow special characters. So if your name has spaces or hyphens, omit those. So if your name is, John Smith Stevens, it should all be one chunk. That's just a piece of advice on searching that system. But if you have any questions about your ballot, I would say contact first your local elections office, because they're going to be the ones who are, but also, if that is not working, then definitely the Secretary of State's office is another route. Any other questions, anybody?
Some really good information. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Oh, Sherry?
I was just going to share, I went to that My Voter page, mt.com. Thank you, Dawn, for that. Is that the case? I was just going to share it on Facebook so people can go find out the status of their voting. And so is that true that it's My Voter page and then their 2-letter state?
Yes, it's My Voter page, mt.com.
for Montana, but like Minnesota, my voter page, mn.com.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know about other states.
All right. I'll try it and see, but yeah, that's great to know that. I had no idea that was available.
Yeah, me neither.
Cool.
Yeah, and all states may not offer it. Every county runs their own election under the guidance of their state's Secretary of State's office. And so it's all really, we say there's, everyone's looking forward to election day, but really there's millions of little elections going on, all under the umbrella of one. Right?
Yeah, good.
And there's other useful information there. So like I use that link to track, just to make sure every election I'm registered, and to double check, like I can never remember from like 4 or 6 years later, like what Senate district I'm in, what House district I'm in. And so it really helps me also be an informed voter. So I know which like representatives and senators are part where I live. And so that's also there as well.
Oh,
so
cool.
at the top is your registration information, and then your ballot information is lower on the page. But I use that a few times every election cycle because apparently I'm a nerd.
The world needs nerds.
You're informed.
Hey,
Good
we're two of a
informed
kind. I do it too. There's
Well,
a lot of
after
good
I've had those
information.
like little issues with my ballots and things like that, I just always want to make sure that I can vote and that my ballot is accepted. And so I've gotten a little, not paranoid's not the right word. I've just gotten a little bit more diligent and just making
Right.
sure that my details are correct and that I know what I'm doing when I sit down with my ballot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great.
Okay, so no other questions? All right, thank you, Nathan. We really appreciate you having you joining us so that you can inform us on what to do at this stage, because it is a very important election and it's important for all of us to make our voices heard. So thank you very much.
Indeed. Get out and vote, you guys.
Right,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Have a
All
great
right.
day.
You
Bye-bye.
too, thank you. All right, we'll let Nathan log off, and we have a couple more details to go through. Good information
Sorry, I
there.
have a
That
quick
was-
question, real quick,
Yeah.
because I went there and it's saying that mine's not showing up. Now I'm stressed. Thank you, Christy. But did he say not to put the hyphen between your name, or is that in something else?
No, don't hyphen. He made it, to me, he made it sound like your hyphenated name should be like one big long name. Like you're not even a space.
Together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
no hyphens, no
No
special
hyphens.
characters, no hyphens, no spaces. Sorry, I was just working on something else, so I was like, I'll just see what they chat about for a minute when I'm done.
Oh, I showed up. Good. Thank you. I put it together.
Okay.
Thank you. It
Yay.
worked.
Awesome. Thank you again, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Good luck. All right. Cool. That was fun. All righty. Megan, Miss President-elect, do we have any other updates or anything that we need to remind people of?
No.
It occurred to me as we were talking that if you have not already renewed your membership, we're going to cut off the renewal at the end of the month. So basically, starting next month, you will just sign on as a new member.
Yeah, it really doesn't do much other than your name won't already be in there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna delete out anyone who has not renewed. And then if you are a renewing member, you will become a new member. And then just so everybody knows, we've talked about this on the board level multiple times, but the website renewal will look different next year because we pulled in information from the old website. So to renew this year, you had to log in, you had to click on things and go places. And some people had a little bit of a hard time with that. Next year in June, you will receive an email that tells you have 30 days to click button, pay renewal. It's that easy. And if you don't pay within those 30 days, you will get kicked off and you will have to become a new member. This is just so that we can see who renews within those 30 days, because we've done this switch to renewals being in June. And so it will help us see who's renewing and and how many new members we're getting, and having just 1 month or 1 date for our membership committee to be reaching out to current members to remind them to renew. This year, because we made so many switches last year, we've given lots of extra time, lots of extra reminders. But next year will just look a little different when it comes to renewing.
Yeah, and it seems like there may still be people who are confused that when they paid in the spring, that didn't necessarily get them paid for this year. So if you're talking to friends who are MBN members and you haven't seen them, participating, maybe it's a good reminder that you need to renew because you're probably not getting email newsletters. You're missing out on some data. So just make sure you get renewed. And if you have problems, we are here to help out with that too. Sherry, did you have something else to add?
Yeah, so on my to-do list is to renew my MBN and kind of get my, data filled out and stuff.
Yeah.
So at this point, like I'm fine, paying and supporting the organization. Would it be better to go ahead and renew right now, and that'll pay me through June, because I have been actively doing that, and then I won't look like I'm a brand new member as of November. Okay.
So that's the nice part, is you won't look like a brand new member. It's going to cost the same. I think starting in January, that payment price goes down a little bit. But because you have been participating.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get that done now.
Okay, and then when we take off the people, so although I learned today when I was double checking the website, we did it incorrectly, but the videos for general meetings, if you miss one, they're on there. Currently, they're not hidden to the world. So we'll get that changed over, but the general meetings will be only available to paid members. There's also a forum on the website that I think I'll put on the newsletter a few more times to remind people that as a paid member, you can go on and you can communicate with other members via forum, ask questions and things like that. And that is only available to paid members as well.
Okay.
And then things like the holiday market, that $25 cost will only be available to paid members. So there will be lots of
Perks.
reasons to be a paid member.
Yeah, good. Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go ahead then and start wrapping things up, and we'll do our little random Wheel of Fortune drawing to see who our next member spotlight is going to go to.
So, and a few people dropped off. So let's see, we've got 1, 2.
A couple people had other Zoom calls they had to get onto.
So we have 5. So I got to see, let's see, who am I? All right. Who am I?
That's pretty cool.
Is this
I like
everybody?
Zoom when it's this temperature.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm Karen
Shriek.
What did I put? Oh, Shriek. Typo, sorry. we just renamed you, Karen. All right. Is everybody all right? Does anybody not see their name? All right. So let's see who the wheel picks. It was a good thing.
That is so cool.
Nice.
So when we do your member spotlight, we will write your name correctly.
Okay.
And I will, if you can just, are you up to date on your profile in the directory?
Yes.
Okay, then
And
I'll get your.
I have a question. I actually just did the holiday market and I submitted it, but when I looked at it, all my information that I typed in was gone. So I don't know if you want to check on that, if that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, we did a test. You would be the first that actually filled it out, not on our test. So good to know. I'm looking. I don't see an email from you from that. So I'll take a look at that again. We've had a few glitches with our forms, which I thought we worked through, but looks like maybe not so much. So we'll take a look at that and I'll get you an email. But as long as your directory is up to date, I will email you the member spotlight form as well. And then you will be in our newsletter and on our social media. And then I'll make sure to reach out to you when I make sure that form is corrected.
Great, thanks.
Awesome. All right, ladies, I guess we are ready to wrap it up. So again, a toast to everybody for joining us today. And we will meet again in 3 weeks-ish, November 18th. And again, if you're ready to sign up for the virtual holiday market, make sure you do so. And everybody have a fantastic Halloween and a fantastic next few months.
And we
Make
have
sure to get out
cocktails
and
and
vote.
conversations, so don't forget that.
Yes, cocktails as well. All right, gang. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.